Hello, my friends. It's Puckin' Deep again. And we've been going over the previewing each NHL team, previewing their off season and future for what they're going to look like, where they may land in the playoffs, if not in the playoffs or in the regular season. We just did New York Islanders with Kim, the Islanders girl. That was awesome. She
Yeah,
was
it was.
fantastic.
That was way
Yeah.
cool, dude. That was way cool, man. I can't wait
Yeah,
to have
that
her on again.
That was a lot of fun for sure. And today we're going to be looking at the Carolina Hurricane. Such an interesting team, the Carolina Hurricanes. They made one big move, bringing in Ehlers last year. They did the old make it to the second round and lose, make it to the second round and lose. And this is a team that has been doing, I think it's 3 years in a
It
row.
is.
And it's so like most teams would be kind of happy with that. Like, there's a lot of teams that would be like, geez, I'd love to have that problem. You know,
Making it to the second round and getting thumped on, Yeah, all right, but
but it's so funny. Improvement and success leads to expectations. And now I think it's got to the point where it's almost like you're not doing anything if you're doing the same thing for the Carolina Hurricanes. So there's a lot of pressure on the Carolina Hurricanes this year, I think. What is your look on them going into the season this year with the Ehlers move and what do we have? The trade that sent the trade they sent Kid Morrow and brought what was his name? Yeah, I love him and I just forgot his name.
Taylor Hall.
K. Andre Miller. What
Oh,
do you think
Keandre
about
Miller.
these
Oh,
moves and how Carolina is going to look this year with the moves they made?
okay. Looking up and down their roster, they they still have a pretty solid roster. They still have a pretty solid back end. They still have at least a decent top six and okay bottom. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, this team is going to outwork you on most nights because that's
Mm-hmm.
how Rod Brindamore is. But
Yeah.
I think there's more pressure on Brindamore this year if he doesn't make it to the cup. I mean, I'm not saying they're necessarily going to fire him. And like what you said, it, uh, a number of teams would be killed to have that problem make it to the second round. But we've seen the expectations of the Carolina Hurricanes over the last couple of seasons just rise and rise and rise and rise, and they've
Mm-hmm.
somewhat have risen to the expectations, but they just can't seem to get over that second round hump. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, they
Well, that last year, I shouldn't say second round. They make it past the second round. They make it to the conference finals. But
okay, but
yeah,
they're
it's
still
still
they're not getting it. They're not getting to the dance, right?
no.
They're
It seems like
miscongeniality, right?
they get past the first two, and then they're outclassed in whenever they get to the conference finals.
I mean, I was just reading some stuff there, and they were talking about how Rod Brindamore is keeping Gavin Smith around for a little while, and some of their prospects are gonna probably one or two of their prospects will make the team, and he was talking about some of the prospects going back down. I mean that's this time of year where you have to trim your roster, right? You got I
Yeah,
think Tuesday they have to be down to what the 23 guys or whatever it is because season starts next week, right? So the
yes, it
league,
does.
right? So
So happy.
I know. I Here's what my concern is going to be with Carolina, and it seems like every year they have a different goalie room,
Uh-huh.
and this year is kind of following right along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where
Yeah. Does Anderson
it's
stay healthy?
can he
It's,
stay healthy? They
like,
brought in Caden Primo, whom
yeah,
he didn't do too bad in Montreal. He
it's
really
okay.
didn't. He did okay. He showed out okay. He just had not such a good team in front of him when he was there.
Yeah. He's not, he's probably like a borderline backup third. It's not a guy you want to be playing a
Right.
lot.
Like if you have to rely on him, okay, things are going really south.
You're
You know what
probably
I'm
in
saying?
trouble.
Right. But can Anderson stay? Can he stay?
Well, if
That's
I'm a betting man, I'm going to say no. I
right.
mean, he hasn't stayed healthy for how many years, and I am a betting man, but you can't bet on that. But I'm going to say it's highly unlikely that Frederick Anderson stays healthy for a full season. I feel pretty safe in saying that it's highly unlikely. And you got Pyotr Kochetkov, and he last year he looked like his confidence went down south and just had a terrible year. So
Like I said, I'm really concerned about the goaltending in Carolina. Look, I have absolutely loved Rod Brindamore from the time that he was drafted and played in Philadelphia
oh
and
yeah,
and
absolutely.
and then went to Carolina and hoisted a cup, okay, and then became their coach. And I
Yeah.
have watched him blossom into one of the best coaches in the league,
Yeah.
okay? And he's been graced with some really good GMs and assistant GMs in the last couple years. They've drafted really well over the last few years as well too. Now look, they don't get to draft real high because they finish, you know,
Yeah, but they do well.
but they do
They
pretty
seem to
good. Their draft picks are
do
pretty
pretty
good, and so I mean, I still think though now with the Florida situation,
well. Hmm.
okay, with the whole issue that's happening down there in Pantherville, the threat of the three-peat is on the brink of collapse due to the injury,
Possibly.
right. And could Carolina be that team that kind of picks up the slack and kind of takes that slot maybe? I mean,
Maybe.
that's kind of where I'm looking at Carolina.
Yeah. All right. My take on Carolina. First of all, um, they're doing everything they can to put Nikolai Ehlers on there with Aho and Jarvis. I mean, that is an amazing line.
I was
Don't get
just
me
gonna say
wrong.
that's not bad at all, and them
Seth
getting Ehlers
Jarvis is
was
one of the best three zone defense players in the league. The guy should get a Selkie at least one time in his career, as far as I'm concerned. You know, Sebastian Aho is amazing. The only thing with Nikolai Ehlers is he hasn't played against elite competition ever in his career. He's going to have to take that jump and do that if he's going to play up here with these guys.
certainly
And but he hasn't
great point,
also
Perlo.
played with yeah, he hasn't also played with top end players in the league before too, because he's always
He's
stuck
gonna now.
in the second line in Winnipeg. So that'll probably just balance things out. The thing I have a problem with here, and I've been saying, all the Carolina fans that I am on with Twitter, we bounce around quite a bit talking about Carolina. Excellent fans, by the way.
Dude,
Excellent fans.
I'm here to
Do
tell you
not get us.
that no, 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 no. Carolina, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the best home crowds out there. When it comes to
Absolutely.
home crowds, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
put Carolina in the top as far as that. Just how they
they are awesome.
celebrate, how they have rallied around the Hurricanes, being down
Yeah,
there in Carolina. You know what I mean? Like seriously,
yeah.
and
And
that
they're
place is packed every single night.
yeah, and for a team that's not really what you call a traditional hockey market, they're actually
Right.
fairly knowledgeable too.
Oh
But
man.
the thing
Oh
I
man.
have here, I don't think any of this is going to matter in the regular season, but I'll bring it up. Right now they're going to try Logan Stankoven up the middle. He's never really played center in the NHL. He
Okay,
played in
but
junior and stuff like that because Jesper Kokaniemi is just crap to bed. It's just he's not working out. He, I'll get to him when I talk to him. I'll talk about it. But that puts Svechnikov, Stankoven, and Jason Blake together on that line. Now, Stankoven on the wing is another excellent, like a Jarvis type player, excellent 3-zone player. But I don't know what he's going to be as a center. And Andrei Svechnikov, the last 2 years, I don't know what's happened to this guy, man. I don't know if it's something to do with injuries, lack of confidence, not just offensively. His whole game has gone to poop, to tell you the honest truth. And Jackson Blake is just a squeaky green kid coming up. He's got a lot of fight and he's feisty and all that kind of stuff like that, but he's got a lot to learn. I don't like this line at all. I don't know if they're going to keep it this way. It's good they have it that way on Puckpedia, but I think this is going to be a disaster for the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't think it's going to stay this way. And the only reason
no.
why it is this way is I don't know if they promised dealers he's going to play with Aho or whatever it is, but that's what it seems like. And I think what Brindamore is doing is they're going to play some games, and it's going to become very obvious to the players that that line is not good, and he's going to have a sit down talk with Nikolai Ehlers and say, "We got to do something here, buddy. We need your help on the second line." We need something there. Either that or he puts Jarvis down there. But they need some sort of anchor for that line because that line is not going to be good.
And they still seem to be missing that. You know what I
Second line,
mean? Yeah.
second line center.
Ye-
That's
Hole,
the big thing, right?
the
No
big
second line
hole.
center.
Yeah, right. So, all
Those are
right.
hard to find. And then now you got the whole thing is like if you're going to do it this way, though, I understand why they're doing it because that Martinook, Stahl, William Carrier line has been awesome for them, like a great shutdown line, and they don't want to break it up. And I get it when you got a great third line like that goes together, sort of like when like the Lowry line in Winnipeg,
Yeah,
like it is so awesome to have a line like that because
I agree.
you can keep your best players away from the elite players at home a lot,
And
and
they
they
end up
and
being the penalty killers too. They end up being a lot of the penalty killers, the
penalty
guys.
killers, but they just play a great shutdown role, and they can shut down the other team's top line, which gives the top line much more to work with. And then they got Kokanemi down on the fourth line, which where he needs to be. I haven't seen. I think he needs to be a winger, but they don't have enough centers. Like Kokanemi is like one of the few centers in the league that basically is only good if he just stays in the middle of the ice, up and down, up and down.
Yeah,
As
because
soon
he's
as he
not good on the
strays off
dot
one
or
way or
nothing.
another,
Yeah.
and you can't have centers like that
No.
unless you're playing on a fourth line. So they got him there, and they're putting Taylor Hall with him. I don't know how long that'll be, but I mean, really, I can't find a place for Taylor Hall here. So I get it. And Eric Robinson, not a bad fourth
But
line,
I like
but I
Taylor
just think
Hall
that
though.
second line's going to be an anchor for them. I don't like it. I think their defense is excellent. I just want to talk about Keandre Miller. The New York Rangers are going to
Miss him bad. Yeah.
he had one bad year in a bad environment when you had players that were mad at management. And honestly, I think that was just like the volcano that burst. I think this has been going on for a while in New York. And this kid's trying to do the best he can. He did have a bad year last year, but this kid he's excellent defensively. He's got good size. He plays with not really as much of an edge as you like, but he's still physical and he knows his spots and he can move the
Yeah.
puck well.
That's what I like. Yeah.
He's a great. He's a very. They stole him. They stole him. It was a great pickup. And when you put right now they have Sean Walker with Jacob Slavin. Sean Walker's not a top pair defenseman, but you're playing him with Jacob Slavin. it works, because Slavin is just
And
that
that's
good. He
they. And
covers
I was just
smoothly.
gonna say because Slavin. Oh my gosh, man!
Yeah,
Look, when you get to watch those guys multiple times a year, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and you get to see them guys how they work. And
yeah,
Slavin is one of those guys that will take you into the dirty areas and take the puck away from you and move it to
yeah.
the ice. And he
And he
is
doesn't do it
so
like he doesn't hit you and stuff. He
right.
just
He takes the
he's
puck away
just
from you
he
and he's
goes in the
gone.
corner and he comes out with the puck and it looks like he didn't even try.
And
It's
he's
like
gone.
he's he's
Right. Okay.
incredible that way,
Right.
man.
So
He's amazing.
that's why I still put Carolina.
I think they win the Metro. I do. I still think they win the Metro. Yeah. That's me personally. Where do you have them?
Hmm. You know what? That's not a
Because you
bad
got Jalen
idea.
Chatfield, he's awesome. That
Right.
Alexander Nikishin kid looked really good in the playoffs.
Like I
But
said, my only
defense is good.
concern
It's the
is
goaltending. I
go
understand, but they
ten.
seem to get away with it every single
I
year.
know, I know.
They get away with
Like
it every
he
year.
seems to just be able to play in enough games to where, and
Yeah,
man, they just always seem to do so well in the regular season. Like they just got
yeah.
that regular season stride down. You know?
I think they try too hard. I think somewhere along the line, Brendan Moore has to realize that you got to learn how to play a little more of a perimeter game again every once in a while. You don't have to go out and slam the shit out of San Jose.
Or
Or
pull the reins back a little bit on the
yeah,
intensity.
right. At the end of road trips, try playing like what Florida does. They play a very perimeter game. They try to stay out of physicality. Yeah, they're playing like Chicago or San Jose, or like this year it'll be Pittsburgh. All these weak teams that you don't need to kill yourself to win against.
Oh.
Well, this year will be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And
Boston.
I think I think yeah, Boston's probably and Buffalo I think might potentially be Buffalo might be a tick better, but I think they're still going to be down there. I
They
don't
just
know.
lost Lukanen.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
no, I didn't. You're breaking news.
Buffalo's Lukanen's out week to week,
Okay. Well, that's better
so that's
than
not good.
that's better than the season, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah, I know, but
okay, but what I'm saying though is that with everything that's been going on as far as in the metro, yeah, I have to agree with you, but my only concern is the goaltending. But I still think they're gonna be. I still think they're gonna be part of it, and if they may not. That's you know what? Yeah. Who
they
else
play
could?
that man-on-man defensive system,
Who
and
else could win the metro though? I mean,
everybody, New Jersey maybe. That's the thing. It's
you.
not a great division, so that's why
Yeah,
I think
not
they're
this
going to do
year. Not this year. The Metro is not going to be the one this year. You're going to see more of the teams coming out of the Atlantic.
it. You might see like some surprise, like if Jet Greaves goes keeps on going the way he was at the end of the year for Columbus, you could see some surprise team like that go off.
Potentially, yeah, but I also think we're going to see Tampa Bay maybe potentially fitting into a slot
Oh
as.
yeah, well that's in the Atlantic, yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
that's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about. I think we're going to see more of the Atlantic teams coming out for the East this time around than we are going to see out of the Metro.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, but like New Jersey's going to be better. Although I can't stand Sheldon Keefe as a coach, I think that team is probably too good to be anything lower than third.
All right.
So I think it's going to be Carolina, New Jersey, Washington's an iffy. I don't know where like, and actually it's all like that. It's all kind of mushy. Washington, New York Rangers, Columbus.
I
Which one's gonna?
think Washington's going to be better than what people are giving them credit for.
I think they could start off slow after the whole Ovi stuff, and then I just can't bet against Carberry. Like I wouldn't bet him to miss because Carberry's such a great coach.
I
They'll probably find a way to get him in there.
I mean, he was what, Jack Adams Award winner last year.
Yeah, I'll
So
bet I'll bet Washington, Columbus in that third, fourth spot, and then the Rangers, Islanders, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
see, I think Islanders are going to be better than the Rangers, and I, yeah,
It could go. It could. That could be two.
I think the
Islanders could be
Islanders are going to
better.
be better than the Rangers, and
Do you think the Rangers are going to be like third last in the East? Oh my gosh, that'll like, and I think that's probably right actually, because I just talked about how much I believed in Snow or in Law last when we did the Islanders.
then when
So
I watched them play against Philly with mostly their team that they're going to, I mean, there's one more preseason game left. They're down to what they're pretty much going to be putting out on the ice when it comes to official puck drop. So it was pretty much, team for team. That was pretty much a pretty good warm up, a pretty good indicator. Matthew Schaefer's probably going to make the team there for the Islanders, and I mean, but
yeah,
I think the Washington's going to be a they're going to still be good team this year. I can't count Ovechkin. I can't count him out, man. If he's still playing, I can't count him out. So
yeah.
even if he only is 70% of himself, I mean
I don't
seven.
think it's that. I think it's the emotion after him getting the like they were riding that emotion last year heavy
Well, right.
about him getting the. And now they're coming in, they don't really have that except for the fact that Ovi hasn't committed to playing after the season. But
So
I
that's
just can't. If it was any other coach than not any other coach, but a lot of other coaches other than Carberry, I would say that this is a bad year for Washington.
okay.
But
But
Spencer
we
Carberry
think it's
is too
better
good.
going to be it's going to be a better year for Carolina.
I think Carolina just wins the division just because it's a
Okay.
weak division. They're like you said, they're deep all the way down to the fourth line. Their defense is good. And I mean, if they absolutely have to, they have cap space to get a goaltender out there or something like that. But I don't think the goaltending is going to hurt them that bad with that lineup. In the playoffs, maybe, yeah, but
And see, that's
in,
where
in
I
the
think
regular
see
season,
that's where I think the issue is with Carolina is they overlook that, and that's why they do really well in the regular season because their style of how they play, is that high
they
intensity
just
man. Right.
yeah, they out energy teams all year, and then
Exactly.
by the time they get to the playoffs, they're burnt. They're burnt
And
out.
exactly.
Got to
Exactly.
he's got to start figuring. Brind'Amour's got to stop thinking he has robots playing for him. He
Or
wants to build this machine that
teams
can
of
destroy you
Brindamores.
every single game, and all those. And it's I don't. I mean, if it ever happens, I'll tip my hat to you, Brendy. But people, these are humans out there on the ice. They're not machines. And if you're going to keep on playing like just balls out every single game and killing these guys all the time, and like even when they have a lax effort, you look him on the bench and he's like, oh God, it's like, come on, buddy. These guys, there's look at Florida Panthers, look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. The last 20 or 30 games when they're up like 15 points on the next to out of the playoffs, do you see them grinding it out? No. They sit guys, they play perimeter. What was it? I remember that one game in Ottawa uh, last year. The Ottawa Senators came back and Paul Maurice, they asked Paul Maurice, they came back in the third period. I don't know if you remember that game. They were up like 3-1 and they lost 4-3 or something like that. And
Okay.
they asked Paul Maurice, what do you think about your team uh, losing out in the third period? He went, eh. He just went, whatever. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter anymore. They don't care about winning the division. They don't care. Who cares? We're gonna get some rest, and then when the playoffs come, we're gonna stomp on goalies, and we're gonna.
Because you'd much rather hang conference championship banners instead of division championship banners in your
Yeah, it
rafters,
doesn't
and you
matter
want
if
to
you.
hang Stanley Cup. banners.
Exactly. And if you burn yourself out in the regular season, you're not going to hang them.
You know, that's funny because there's certain coaches out there that kind of have that philosophy of working guys and getting them to a certain level, and then by the time you get to the end of the season, you don't have anything left in the
You're
tank.
done. The Winnipeg Jets do it
Yeah,
every time.
yeah. So
So,
okay,
anyways, I think they win the division. You think they win the
yeah, I'm
division?
with you on that. I absolutely agree with
Yeah.
that 100%, man. I think they
Yeah.
win the division outright. I think there's going to be some good competition because the Metro, like you said, Steve, is just not. You got the two Pennsylvania teams that are going to be down there. You got potentially a New York team that's going to be down there. You got potentially a Boston team that's going to be down there. Two potential New York teams down there. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be
That
more teams
division
at the
is,
bottom than there's going to be at the top.
and we're talking about Columbus making the playoffs.
Yes.
What other division are you talking about Columbus making the playoffs? Maybe the Pacific, but not the Central, not the Atlantic. This division's weak and they get to benefit from that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they get past the first two rounds. You're playing against a weak competition in the first round.
Okay. All
So,
right.
anyways, RNJ Media. This is Ron, and thank you for coming in today and talking about the Carolina Hurricanes and giving your piece on it.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
For
Great
puck in
stuff.
deep, dude. For puck in deep, man.
Yeah,
I
what
love
it.
this platform, dude. This is so awesome.
It's going to be great, man.
I
You're going to
know.
see live stuff, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure you're
Exactly.
subscribing, and
You
if
know.
you like
Smash
it,
the
and all
button,
that stuff.
smash the button, smash the
But
button.
pucking deep isn't the only thing in RNJ media, is it,
No,
Ron?
uh-uh.
What
No, no,
else we
no.
got out there for
Oh
everybody
man, I'll
for
tell you
the
what. How about this for you, all folks? I was gonna like try to make a little separate video for this, but I guess I still will. But so I have now become the head scout for the USHL for Draft Prospects Hockey. So that's go to draftprospectshockey.com. Check that out. Follow the guys and all of us there on Twitter at Draft Prospect Hockey. And then you can follow all my stuff at RNJ underscore media and all the great stuff that we're doing over there. And very excited about that. We're going to be able to go to events and talk to more players. And it's a great partnership with the Prospect Don and even Chris from Draft Utopia is over there too. So he's the head of NCAA scouting over there too. So man, it's awesome collaboration that we got going on over there. So check that out for sure. Be sure to hop on over to rnjmediasports.com. So check out all the great stuff. New website coming out here real soon too. So fingers crossed it's going to come out here in the next maybe week or so.
right? Yeah, and you can catch me at Perlo's NHL POW on the Twitter. If you go over there, hit up on uh, there's a Perlo community that you can be part of,
Which you need to
and
join.
which you need to join. And if you do, I'm going to be offering my premium picks at just a ridiculously low price this year. And if you're part of that, you'll get in early and you'll be able to get it at just unbelievable. It's fun money prices that you're going to get because that's really what I'm all about, having fun, making some money, and enjoying the game. And so I would highly recommend you get in on that. We're going to be also having additional content on the website and additional content on the Discord that we may be doing and all of this great stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you like getting in deep on hockey stuff, every team in the NHL, if you're a hockey geek like me and you love to talk about everything there is hockey, if you like to like shut the door for the winter and pretend there's no world out there, you're going to love
You heard it here
Hockey
first,
and Deep.
folks. You heard it here first, folks. I'm here to tell you, man. He's the man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks again. That was the Carolina Hurricanes. Go check our Islanders or Philadelphia Flyers. I have posted stuff on my old website that you can
Yep.
get on
We did
Twitter.
the
You can see
Rangers
all my
too. We did that. We did the
production. We did the
Minnesota Wild.
Rangers, Minnesota Wild,
Yep.
and we'll be doing a couple more here before the end of the season. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Have a great week. Take care.